Good evening, everybody. Hex to Hex. Hey, we're going to do a little surprise unboxing tonight. Old Andrew McMurray Stein picked up a few things. And of course, naturally, one of those few things that he picked up, something that's going to piss me off because I don't have it. But I'm happy somebody in the group's got it here. So let me bring the boys in here and let's get after this. Say, hey.
What's up, everybody?
Hey. And Reese is on with us. What's up, Reese?
Reese. Mark Gauthier.
Reese apparently
Mark,
didn't get enough of this weekend.
James, how you doing, brother? Camp Sawyer. I got some catching up to do with you and Chuck's there, Camp. All right, guys. So we're gonna enlarge an old Andrew there, and he's got a couple of ACWs that he's going to show us. I think that's you got. Is there more than that, or just the two ACWs?
Just these two.
Okay. Well, let's get Andrew here on big screen, and away we go.
So as you guys know, following Hex to Hex's most recent live plays or most recent videos, he's been playing Worthington Games Shiloh. I saw Ian Tatum at a screaming good price. He said it was a pretty good series. Ian Tatum's pretty entertaining. So let's look at what we got here, eh? 2D10s. Look at that. Look at that. Not even in a Ziploc. Jeff, this game system is trash. There is packaging in here, though. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, this has got to be the first edition. I don't
Jeff,
know how
is this vitally important to the game?
No, you're going to baggy all the stuff up anyhow. Tim, how you doing? Mike, how you doing? Stigler and the hizzy.
So you have to educate me on Antietam. Look like it's early in the war.
September 1862.
Yep.
And what's the general thing? General situation?
Well, the Confederacy loses. So par for course for the war.
Blah, 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 blah.
Civil War Brigade Battle Series. Are these the whole series rules, Jeff? 8 pages?
Yeah, think of it like SCS. They have the core rules, and then you have the scenario rules that.
Yeah, but these are like Jeff-size large print, so you can read them. So that's probably like only about 4 pages of rules. That's
my God. The DUG is in the house. Doug Gearhart. Doug, good to see you, brother.
Man.
How's retirement treating you?
Got a good group watching us today. That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Union Chain of Command, Confederate Chain of Command, so it's kind of an OOB.
Yeah, they got some really cool stuff in these boxes.
Jeff, I would assume this is just for reference, not for laying out. So it's double-sided.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would hope so.
No, I was about to say that'd make it tough. The Antietam playbook, which I would assume is scenario rules, right, Jeff?
Yes, sir.
That's all 8 pages too.
There's your chart. There's your charts, all of them, right there on the back page.
Yep. So this has setup and charts in it. So that means we've really got not a whole lot of. That's our rules right here.
Wow.
How many scenarios are in that Antietam booklet?
In this Antietam booklet?
Yeah.
1.
So
Scenario 4, Scenario 3. So there's 4. Morning attack, Bloody Lane, Burnside's Bridge, and the full battle.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Awesome.
And then there's extras of the charts on good card stock.
Simple as can be.
Dog, I like this. There's 2 of those. What the Christ are these things, Jeff?
What do they call them things again, Todd?
Are they strength markers?
Yeah, but what do they call them? Something.
I've never played this game.
No, but they call those markers like that. They have a special name for them. I can never remember it.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They fall out very easy.
They fall out real easy.
Hey, no clipping.
Right? So we got... Oh, Todd, look at the artillery fired stuff. That would be helpful for...
Pollard markers. Thank you, Mike.
Some stuff. For what?
What are they
Pollard.
called?
They're called Pollard markers.
Oh, I've never heard that term.
Same. So here's Union, Confederate.
Can you look at one of them, like zoom in, or just pull them up to the camera?
Shit. I lost one.
So
I don't know what any of this stuff means.
So it's got the leader.
We've got brigade name.
Right.
And then division and corps commander, maybe.
Right.
I would assume that's the start hex.
Yep.
And then that's, I guess, strength. I don't know.
And the colors, their morale. Black is about an average unit.
What about pink?
Green sucks and gold is superior.
Okay, what about teal and blue and purple and pink?
They're just division to mark the division they're in. That's all. Or the core.
And how do I know? Oh, so this color is the morale.
Yeah, the color on the strength marker, right.
So awesome, shitty,
normal.
Okay.
So, what's the number in there, Jeff?
Strength.
Oh, strength. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so there's my. Oh, are the maps are mounted?
Yes, sir.
Oh, holy smokes!
And they are they're simple and gorgeous at the same
Dude, they're
time.
huge.
Wow. You have room for that?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just a one. Is it a one mapper?
It says it's a one mapper, but I feel like the map is significantly larger than
Yeah, it folds out.
36 by 22 or
That's
33
poster
by
size.
22.
That's a regular. A
Yeah.
normal game is 22 by 34. So
Yeah, this seems bigger than that. Okay, I don't know how they fold out, so I'm not going to fart around with that because it's going to take me 25 minutes. Well, screw it.
We got time. So
Yeah,
Jeff,
we're live. You guys just have to watch me struggle to put it back together.
Jeff, what's the Pollard
this
thing?
Where they put like 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, then 5, 6, 7, 8 on the other side.
Is that their
And then the next
strength or
counter's
something?
not- Like these things go up to, like I know the Shiloh one went all the way up into the 30s.
Yeah, I saw them up to the into the 20s. Oh, okay, cool. So it's
Jay-
that's really cool. It's done like the streets are done like period maps. Like look at the town of Sharpsburg.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's 15 minutes from me. All that map right is.
Wow.
James, it's if you broke it down to a basic system, and I think I said it in all the videos I just did on Shiloh.
This is pretty cool.
It's I go, you shoot, I shoot, recover. You go, I shoot, you shoot, recover.
So I was playing a game that is apparently based off of a lock and load, like black powder system that was very similar to that.
Yeah, I think after about 2 turns of playing, I didn't have to look at. I mean, yeah, you get checking the like when a leader takes a casualty or what you do during route. That's about the only rules I had to go back into it for. So
that is pretty cool. The counters are huge, though. I wonder how they'll stack in the GMT trays that I've got.
I baggied mine.
Okay.
I only needed 6 baggies to hold everything.
There's the back of the box. Very pretty. This is a really nice looking box. It's just a really stupid size. Look at that thing.
Yeah, that's got to be the first edition, but I don't think the game changed.
It's frustrating because you're looking at that, and then there's just this empty space in the box where it could have just been a normal bookshelf game.
I wonder why they did that. That's weird.
I would imagine that at the time they got, if this is the first edition and it's an older one, I wonder if that was just the box sizes that they had.
Well, it fits more standard games, right? A lot of games are square like that.
Yeah, that's my point.
Like Euro America games and stuff, not war games.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Hey, Jeff, you ready to get pissed off?
Yeah, here comes. Bitch.
I paid less than $50 for this.
God damn.
Yep, there it is. I just took the shrink wrap off of it. I'm going to sit down for this one. All right, here we go.
I hear this
Worthington,
really good,
old
dude.
school war games. I'm not sure if that's how I would call it, but the front of the box is pretty cool looking. It's a little pixelated because it's enhanced original art, but I like it.
Yeah,
Oh, this one came with baggies.
Oh, that's cool. It was
No
that way.
baggie for the D10s though.
It was that way on Band of Brothers too. I think they could work around that. They could figure out how to not pixelate it like that. Side note.
So we've got I wonder if these are updated series rules.
Well, that's the latest game, so
Yeah, this is 2022. That being said, one thing that I'm noticing right now is there's no space in this. I'm not sure all the baggies are going to fit in here and the box closed all the way.
not Jay. How you doing, brother?
So
you?
most updated, 7 days battles playbook. This one's a little heftier, which makes sense. There should be a lot more scenarios, I'd imagine.
I'm gonna guess you have a tray case in the box. Oh no, you have baggies. That's weird. Okay.
Well, 7 days battle. How many freaking battles were in there? There was.
I'm
what?
working on it.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to recall in my brain.
Battle of Beaver Dam Creek. Here comes Jackson. Jackson arrives on time. Historical battle at Gaines Mill. Beaver Dam Creek to Gaines Mill.
Jackson arrives on time. Must be hypothetical.
Historical battle of Glendale. Yeah, it sounds kind of like McMurray arrives on time.
Oh boy.
Historical battle of Malvern Hill. Glendale to Malvern Hill. And that's it. So 8.
Pretty good. And there's no Camp Folk. Oh, Glendale to Malvern Hill. Is that the campaign?
I don't know. Hang
'Cause
on.
from what somebody told me, you can put it all together and
Yeah, so that's June 30 to July 7, so I don't think so.
seven or eight battles, Stigler says, in that campaign.
I don't know. So the first game, it says, starts at 1500 on June 26th, and then I think the last one. Well, no, because this one starts at Jackson arrives on time. Starts at 10 a.m. on June 26th. That's excuse me, 11 game turns. Beaver Dam Creek to Gaines Mill is 25 turns from 3 o'clock on the 26th to 8 o'clock on the 27th. 8 turns. That's 7 hours. I don't know. I don't know if there's necessarily a full thing in here. I don't know. Maybe there's another thing. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, a couple more quick reference sheets for base battles. I guess specifically.
Look at the back of them. Look on the back of them.
Yeah, it's the train charts.
Train, yeah. That's it. That's everything right there.
I like it. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Steve, I figure if I rode a horse or walked all the way from the Shenandoah Valley to get down there to help out, I'd probably be a little wore out myself.
Oof. You'd be real wore out having to earn your keep every night. Okay. So we've got Confederates.
Come on.
Is there only one Confederate marker sheet in here?
I don't know. I don't have the game.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't. Huh. That's funny. All right. That worked perfectly. There's Union counter sheets.
Wow.
Status counters. Yeah, so that's weird. There's obviously more units in Antietam. That makes sense, but this is a longer game with fewer units, probably because it focuses on an entire campaign. But yeah. What are you saying, Toddy?
There's a lot of markers on that.
Yeah, so with only four counter sheets in here, I don't know if that's going to be, like I said, enough thickness for all the baggies to sit without holding the.
But once you pop all those counters out, it's the same thing. Shiloh was pretty full too.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. And then we've got our 2 mounted maps, and again, these look really pretty, man. If they're anything like Antietam, they're going to be really pretty. I'm going to take both of them out real quick. Oh no, that's why they were discounted. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, is that you done with that thing? I've been trying to keep up, but I'm not very good at it.
That's okay, Jeff. You're not very good at much, buddy.
I'm talking about.
Wow. Okay, so this is double-sided. Yeah, so this is only 3 segments long and 2 wide, but it's double-sided, which is interesting. Okay. So I don't know if there is a full campaign, Jeff, if you've got to play, because this is the map for Glendale. This is the map for I don't know. I'm about to say, if it's double-sided, I'd imagine there probably isn't a full
Gaines Mill.
There's Gaines Mill. So Gaines Mill on one side, Glendale on the other side, Beaver Creek Dam or Beaver Dam Creek on this side. These are hefty being double-sided. Holy smoly, look at that. So you can see where that's going to link up to that other side. So we've again got the Chickahominy River down on the bottom here.
Yeah, because I saw White Oak Swamp in that one map. Yeah, that other map. I saw White Oak Swamp in there. So
yeah,
that is a large area.
It is a large area, which would explain the necessity for 4 maps. The issue is when it's only mounted on 2 boards. Yeah, you're not going to be able to play a full campaign game. And here's Malvern Hill.
Wow.
So there you go. Maybe this will inspire me to get some ACW miniatures, like small-scale miniatures games going, Jeffy. What do you think?
Yeah.
Does that sound pretty fun to you?
I'm hoping this drags you in because you haven't touched one of these Civil War games since you did those folio games.
Yeah, I probably Blue or the Gray, maybe Across 5 Aprils. I love Across 5 Aprils so much, though. I think I blew through Across 5 Aprils Gettysburg most recently, or actually Avalon Hills Gettysburg.
Right. Those, I was impressed. I'm glad. See, okay, so all of this started from Todd getting Band of Brothers, and then I said, "Well, I get they look really
because
good."
that's what got you to think, okay, maybe we should try something from Worthington, right?
Yeah, and then these were on sale too at Miniature Market all at the same time. So
yeah, well,
I don't know if they still are or not, but
so Shiloh would have been my go-to be honest with you.
Well, it's going to be headed that way here shortly.
But I'm excited because if I finally found a series that I enjoy that's still actually in friggin' production, that's awesome.
Right.
Because I've been finding tons of these games that I like playing, but they're all out of production series, like Great Medieval Battles from SPI, obviously out of production. Cross 5 Aprils, that's, I guess it's one game, but it's a bunch of individual engagements inside of that game, but they're not still making stuff for it. And all those things. So I'd be really excited if they keep making stuff for this. Now, if they did, God, man, Todd, can you imagine if they did Wilson's Creek Peerage type stuff?
I can't see them not making more in this.
No, I gotcha. I'm just saying it'd be cool if somebody gave some love to the Trans-Mississippi Theater.
Well,
which the Decision Games did with their Folio series. They've got Wilson's Creek there.
Mark, how you doing, brother?
I mean, Revolution Games has their games at Wilson. No, they didn't do Wilson's Creek. That was
Decision.
Well, maybe it was Decision.
You talking about the Lutman series?
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, Revolution Games had most of their titles.
I thought Wilson Creek and Pea Ridge were covered in their series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah.
Were those more complicated?
I wouldn't say no. I mean, they're more complicated than that.
Did you play them?
South Mountain.
I started to play one, but it was more the topic. I mean, I didn't want to take the time.
Yeah, Wilson's Creek, Thunder at Dawn.
Yeah, it's a very well liked series.
Yeah.
I just wanted to learn something else. I wasn't patient with it.
The cool. I tell you what. Okay, so if you want, I was a little skeptical. Other than the boxes, the counters, the maps look just great. And when I picked up the charts, I'm thinking, okay, well, where's the rest of them? Walt, how you doing? And I said, and then when I realized it was only the one chart, I was like, oh my god. So I said, this is probably just going to be some hubbub game of rolling dice and nothing fancy. And then I read the rules, the core rules. I was like, wow, okay. And then the scenario rules aren't killers, just, maybe there's special functions in there. But the cool thing is there's not, a lot of Civil War games, you think of the standing in line, shooting your musket, all right, or cannons blasting away with canister, or whether they're shooting long-range ordnance or whatever, and then charges and cavalry. It's not. There's no, you move in adjacent, your combat is just simply, when it's your turn, you're rolling dice to see if you cause any casualties. Terrain will affect it, which in the Shiloh game, it was the only benefit you got was a -2 shooting into the woods. That was it. There's no other modifiers you had to think about. And then if you suffer a loss or the combat chart tells you that you got a morale check, you roll a dice according to the color. Like I think green is a morale of 5, black's a morale of 7, and gold's a morale of 9. So if you, and you might rout, you might just retreat, you might just take a loss, and then your counters have a reverse side. Well, the cavalry and the infantry have a reverse side called their shattered side. So you might be black morale, and when you hit a certain number of casualties, you'll flip to your shattered side, and your morale might get reduced down to being green. So, and that's when I played Shiloh, that's pretty much what I did to Sherman. Then we hit the night turn, and you get to do straggler recovery. Well, Sherman has like 4 units on the board, 3 infantry and an artillery unit, 5 with a cavalry unit. Well, the 3 of the damn infantry units all rolled a freaking 9 or 10, recovered 2 stragglers, and it brought 2 of their units back up above green morale of black. But it didn't matter.
Don't you hate it when the U.S. Army does well, Jeff?
Well, and during that period, But the combat's so easy. The command is simple. Hey, be within 4 hexes of your leader. You're good.
How did you organize these? Just Confederate and Union?
Yeah, because there's not so many you have to think about sorting them. If I was going to do a tray, Andrew, I would probably maybe put the informational counters in a tray and just bag you the units. If I was going to do that, but do you even have room for a tray to go in that box?
I don't. That's my thing. I don't know if I do. I don't. Well, I take that back. I for sure won't have room for a tray. Maybe one of those tiny little Chessex trays, but I don't think they're going to hold these counters.
Right. Mark, thanks for stopping by. I've been watching your Korea stuff when you post. Good deal. Chris Long, how you doing, sir?
Chris Long, yeah. Hey, Chris, the naval game went over like a balloon full of helium, buddy.
That's good. Yeah. You can ask Reese. He played in it for a little bit.
He did. Wow. So this is. I'm going to have these punched today because this is easy as shit and I don't have to clip them.
Peter, you're talking about MMP or the Gamers CWBS. I got that. Eventually that's going to have to get played because everybody seems to be the favorite one from that series. Yep. Chuck, Wilson's Creek, Cedar Mountain, original SPI stuff. Love them. Y'all been watching on Facebook where Russ Gifford's been posted them, and I think some other people too. I don't know if they're.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What?
Somebody was trying to call me, and so it.
Oh, or they're just posting, printable versions of the maps. So, but you can, like say, any of the SPI games. If you have the mind to create your own counters and you can print your maps, you can get everything from the SPI archive because most of that stuff is. I know Decision Games took up a bunch of it. So, but there's all those SPI, all the GBA. Come on, hey Stigler, this will tickle you. Somebody said something to me the other day on chat. Asked me a question of what I thought in one of my comments on YouTube about Civil War series, and of course my response was GBA CW is still the king. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, but this system here doesn't really compare to. I mean, not specifically. I mean, if anything, it compares more to SCS than it does any other Civil War Brigade game I played.
So what you're saying is you're going to send Todd Shiloh, and this is going to be his favorite SCS game now.
Yeah, and then after you guys play 7 days, y'all need to send that to me so that I can play it without having to buy it.
Makes sense.
Chuck, I know you've had or played one of these. Anybody else played one of these in the chat? There's only 3 in the series, and the one's new. So
Charles Rabbit Hill, or I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact name. Looks great, buddy. Charles just finished up a cool piece of terrain.
Chuck did? I must have missed that one.
Yep, he did. It looks great.
Shiloh, that's right. I knew you had one of them, Chuck. Yeah, but I enjoyed this. This is a game that you could play over and over again. I mean, the Shiloh one pretty much went the way it went. Confederates
much to your disappointment, right?
Drove hard on the first day, and then the mass amount of numbers that came in for the Union overnight turned it all back around the other way. So.
Oh, I forgot that there's counters for the commanders in this.
Yeah, and
just saw the Lee counter.
And the only purpose they serve is 1, to make sure the unit's in command, and 2, they provide a die roll modifier to morale checks in route.
Makes sense.
1, so looking tomorrow though, Grant.
That's right. That was Grant 2 Sherman, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Before everybody said that Grant got drunk and fell off his horse.
Beats me. He got that a lot post-war, unfortunately. He took a lot of blame. You'd think it'd be.
Well, I will say this. Much like the Band of Brothers series, when I would sit down at the table to maybe play a turn or two, next thing you know, I played 5 or 6 turns.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That means I'm going to be like 18 turns into this game before I
You'll
stand
be
up.
done. If you set it up now, you'll be done in 2 hours. So
So you guys will appreciate this. Todd was worried about certain things being big this weekend, but don't worry, Todd. They were huger.
now let's make sure we say his name properly. I couldn't believe it when I learned how it's pronounced.
Huger?
Hughie.
Huguet?
Hughie.
Is
Hey,
he French?
Stigler. Look. Top billing.
Yeah, look at Jeff's new shelf and new look here, everybody. What do you think? I think it
Jeff
looks awesome.
decided he needed his War Games room to look like a study. He wants everybody to think he's classy.
All I
think it
did
looks
was
great.
rearrange and put all my shelves over yonder.
I mean, look at that. That's incredible. I wish I could
He
do that.
rearranged. He's got his own little command center with his tables now and stuff. It's
Yeah, you might have to do a war room update. Once you got
Yeah, I
that,
probably should because I made a
What you
horseshoe here.
once you get games set up on those tables, you should walk around and just show everybody.
Yes,
Jeff doesn't actually play games. He just collects them.
They
pretty much.
I'm gonna ignore that because that is not true, bro.
Todd's got a mattress behind him. Shows you how often he War Games in that room. Um,
Heyo.
Smoked. Damn, he chopped on you instead of me. That's different.
Man, we spent the weekend together.
Oh yes. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Come on, you got some time. Let's talk about the convention.
It was
They
outstanding.
all-
I'm sad you weren't there. You would have enjoyed it.
Yeah,
They all went
agreed.
to March to Victory this weekend, which is a Wiley Games thing they put on. They're starting to do it. This is the second year now.
Yep.
And McMurray, he hosts games.
Todd,
Tabletop,
Todd
and
did too. Todd,
Todd helps out, and they both get a chance to play when they can. And I know they always have fun. Thanks, Chuck. I appreciate that. So let's hear it. Come on, just give us some highlights on it.
I had a really good time. I put on a Spanish-American War kind of what-if naval game.
Oh, wait, hold on, Andrew. Before we go down that road, since we got certain lovers of ACW in here, let's talk about the bidding on the game and what game was on the table for the silent auction and how that went.
So Jeff just wants to piss me off today. So I guess we're doing that. That's what we're doing today. So
Swift Sword,
there's
original
two
flat
copies
pack.
actually of Terrible Swift Sword on the table.
There were?
In the same stack.
All right, no. Let me ask. Didn't Terrible Swift Sword have 2 packs?
Yeah, came in 2 trays.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
never mind. Then
Yep.
just one copy.
Anyway,
And it was whatever. There's some old fogies out there who are very much not conscientious of the spirit of how things are, how things are supposed to run and following rules. And it was very frustrating. I didn't particularly want it. It was just very irritating to see gamers who by all means had the time and entertainment and wherewithal and desire to play games
but you did bid on it.
be out. Yeah, I bid on it because the jackass who was dead set on getting it, I knew would go back and bid after me. And I didn't want an asshole to get really good games for next to nothing. And
So
Harold, I hope you watch this somehow. You're an asshole.
So real quick,
We should have kicked you out of there when you held on to the bid sheet before we held pencils down, when you weren't supposed to pick up the bid sheets, because I yelled at you about it last year. And you took advantage of the fact that Jay Wiley was too tired to say, no, fuck that guy. Don't give him his games. Give it to the next guy down the line. So, yeah, in all actuality, Harold, I hope you do see this. You got to, if you live in the Kansas City or in the Midwest and you go to a store owned by a guy named Harold who's old, he's got dark hair and his pants are usually halfway down his legs, don't buy shit from that guy. He's a dick.
Jeff, you asked for this. You 100% asked for this.
You did. You asked me to talk.
Please note that the opinions of the game purveyor speaking right now are not the possible.
Yeah, they do reflect the opinions of Hex to Hex Wargaming because Jeff is also not an asshole.
Okay, real quick. So it was Terrible Swift Sword, CA, so close assault, like tactical ship-to-ship combat.
Correct.
Sniper, and a 4th one. I sent you the picture,
A
Jeff.
4th
Anyway.
SPI one, and then just a quite literally a 6-inch stack of folio games with I think 6 or 7 mini folio games on top of that.
And that the starting bid was $1.
What did it end up going for? Oh my God.
$61.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
No, I'm dead serious. Now you know I'm angry.
The guy bid $60. The guy wrote 61 on the sheet and then held the sheet for the last 30 seconds.
Instead of letting the next guy come back and write down more. Because in the past, it's been, okay, if there's two people actively sitting there bidding on something, obviously it just keeps going until one of them says, okay, that's fine, I'm out.
I want to clear something up here so that everybody understands. So
silent auction.
when McMurray and I get at each other about Confederacy and the Union, it's just a game that he and I play because I'm from Virginia and he's from a northern state. That's all it is. It's nothing.
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
It's nothing, it's just how we toy with each other about that stuff. So
correct. Jeff doesn't actually like slavery. I just give him shit for it. But anyways, point is, this guy's being a dick. He knew that he sat up there the whole time. I was joking around with Jay Wiley that next year we need to make sure we don't have chairs up there because he just sat 10 feet away from it. And every time somebody would go bid on it, he'd walk over and bid on it again.
Well, here's the cool thing. Well, actually, I don't know if it's, never mind. I don't think it's announced yet, so never mind.
But anyways, so that was just my slight frustration, which, I was quite frustrated with that. That made me really angry because the other few people who were bidding on it were younger guys who had already talked between a few of them about splitting it up because obviously one guy wasn't going to play all those games, but Harold wanted to buy it and put it all in his store. So guy,
he's a store owner. I thought he was just some old grognard wanting to get his hands on Terrible Swift Sword.
Nope.
He is an old grognard, but no, he wanted to turn around and flip all of it. You're not playing a single one of those games, Jeff. Kind of like there were other guys who were walking around with eBay pulled up on their phone.
Right.
And they'd look at what something was going for on eBay, and then they just write down that bid, which on one hand, it's one of those, well,
they can do
you could go around and do that honestly, or you could leave, room for somebody who's actually going to buy them and play with them to get them for maybe not the overinflated, eBay price for out of print figures.
Businessman. I can't knock him for doing business.
America.
But no, you can't knock him for doing it because he's being an asshole and he cheated. But no, it was frustrating because then those guys who were looking on eBay the entire time went down and were sitting there in participation games and not paying attention because they were listing the stuff they just won on eBay. And it's one of those, at least wait till you fucking get home, you asshole.
Other than that, it was a great time. Thanks for asking. See ya.
The convention was stellar. I had a great time. I even enjoyed working on the silent auction. But
okay, so I want to hear about because I don't think I've ever seen one done. I mean, I'm sure they're out there on YouTube. I want to hear about Reese's Vietnam game and what the outcome of the game was.
It's a fistful of lead game. You've played in them, Jeff.
I not played in a Vietnam game.
So it's fistful of lead, and it's all the same exact rules, just statted out for Vietnam. Like I had a rocker RPG, and
Todd was the communist.
The objective, just kill the enemy.
No, so the Vietnamese had to blow up two huts, like standing.
They were attacking a Special Forces A camp in 1965, right?
Right.
Yeah, and we had to do that, and then steal some crates. Burning the huts was worth certain points, and the crates were worth certain points, and then the Allied, American, whatever side they were, had to keep people alive, and I feel like they had and leave the board or something. There was something else.
If I recall, it was based off of think John Wayne's Green Berets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think that's what. If it's the same game Reese was explaining to me last year, and since that's what it's based on and inspired by, which is fair because that's a cool movie and everybody's kind of seen it. It gives you you can get that good Hollywood result with how you stat out and build your characters. So the Vietnamese were we had more guys and they were a little bit better trained and a little bit better they had a medic and stuff like that. So the Vietnamese won. We burnt the stuff down. Thomas and I were the Vietnamese. As I said, I better red than dead. And then That's not how it works.
That's what I said.
Well, you said that. That's
Oh, I
not
said
how it
better
works.
dead than red. Yeah, that's what I said. Anyway, whatever. Whatever it is, I don't mean any of it. So,
I do.
and then who are the Americans? I think Grant. No, that wasn't his name.
Chris?
Brent, and Chris. Yep. So not Jay. We're gonna.
Because didn't you rock like 4 of not Jay's guys with an RPG at one point in time?
I'm not gonna get into that. I don't think that's important to talk about right now.
Chris got into it. Chris was real up in his feels about it, but that's okay.
We're gonna do a full talk on his channel about it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was about to say,
well,
yeah,
let me just ask one last question about it. What was the body? Andrew, you were there the year before. What was the body count better?
So it seemed like there were probably a little bit more people, but there were a whole lot more people there participating in games. Right? Last year there were a lot of people kind of wandering around looking at vendors, stuff like that, which I know that the organizers were happy to have the people. I think they really, really enjoy. I know they really like, and their focus and intent was to provide high quality games for people to play, right?
Right.
And so I think they were quite pleased this year with the fact that they had more active tables playing games this year for most of the sessions than they did last year. I know Robin was very excited that last year on Friday night, they had 5 games full playing tables on Friday night. This year they had 8. And then, so those aren't games that were available. Those were games that were full and actively being, vocally and loudly played, right? Because obviously there's more tables than that are there if somebody wants to play. But most game conventions, there's always a couple tables that are just sitting empty, right?
Right.
Like it's set up. If somebody wants to be there, that's fine. But not every game gets played fully every session, which is fair, and that's fine. This year during the day, I think last year there were 10 or 11 full game tables running on Saturday. This year there were 14. And that's not, 14 game tables doesn't equate to, 28 or even 56 people playing. That's usually, if you got most of those tables have 6 to 8, if not a few more people playing on them.
Right.
Like the game that I ran had 8 people playing in it. And then
how did your stands go off on your boats?
Great. They worked fantastically well.
Well, okay, did you play it on the floor? Or did you have to put it up on a table or?
No, we played it on the floor. They were
here.
designed to sit. The stands had the boats sitting about 3.5 feet off the floor, which was the perfect height. Well, it was a good height. I enjoyed it. Everybody who played was able to get down and look on the level of their ships if they needed to. It kept like the little status markers, which were mainly just who was shooting at who,
right,
up and accessible. I mean, Todd, did you experience anyone having issues? Did you have issues with it?
No. So yeah, it went really well. I mean, for me, I'm just taller, so I could use taller stands, but the stands for everybody was perfect.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I was about to say tall is tall. Tall is Todd. Todd is very tall.
I keep picturing sometimes you'll see where people play like in the parks. I think in New York they have a park where they can play chess and they pick the things up and they walk along the chessboard. That's what I kept seeing in my head.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. About the same size.
Awesome.
But, yeah, we had I mean, the guys had some good input about how to improve just kind of the way the ergonomics of the game worked. I think just the idea of there was a lot to handle there with the rulers and stuff. Andrew learned a lot about. Sorry, McMurray learned a lot about the things you could
kind of the hardware improvements.
The hardware improvements you could make to like the rulers and how the stands work and stuff. So, and it pretty small stuff. I think one thing I thought of McMurray is put the name of the ship on the stand.
Correct.
Well, magnetize or whatever, so you can still do that. But
yeah,
I mean, like, everyone remembered, but it just was like, because I was doing a lot of the measurements, I was like, what ship is this? Because I couldn't remember. So
well, that's fair. And I also kind of screwed with that because instead of having even anything that's remotely recognizable, I had Spanish armored and protected cruisers from 1899. Like, there's no reason anyone on Earth should ever know what those are on sight.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I think you and one other guy were the only ones that knew what the ships were.
But at the same time, that's in a more serious game. That's the point, is that you don't know if you're going to get that Jutland feeling, you know, where engage X ship and then, you know, you get two ships engaging and nobody's shooting a Dareflinger. So Dareflingers, you know, putting pretty effective fire on the British battlecruiser force because the British battlecruiser captains don't necessarily know, oh shit, that's Dareflinger. Oops. We both been shooting at Moltka.
Yeah, you're right. That was something you guys talked a lot about. So yeah, not knowing the ships is probably good too.
Well,
but again, that's also something though that
Ulan has a question there, and I do too. You all, please tell me you all took pictures, and we're going to be seeing them somewhere.
Dog, I didn't take a single damn picture. I know there are pictures. If you go to Wiley Games, I know there's at least a couple pictures.
I took a couple
of it already that have been posted.
Yeah, I took a couple. The guys were all taking a lot of pictures while it was going. Somehow
that's fair. I'll make sure to post. There are a couple guys who are taking pictures for stuff to put on their blogs. There will certainly be pictures available, and I'll make sure that we get them up there somewhere. Yeah.
Jeff, I know you've banned this group from your list because you hate it, but there's Naval Wargaming on Facebook had a bunch of him putting it on at Miniature Market for practice.
Correct.
And you can see real exactly. I mean, it looks the same. It's the same.
Check out Not Jay's Facebook. He'll have some pictures up on his Facebook. So
correct, that he will.
Yeah.
Good.
And I took a few. So I plan on doing a recap video. Chris's show, Not Jay's, is going to do a whole recap show with me. If I can afford to be on, I'm checking with my agent right now if Chris can afford to have me on a show. McMurray, I don't know who else is going to be on there. It'd be cool.
Chris, send me the Discord channel link so I can post it. Send it to me in the face. Chris,
Todd, I'm just going to drive to your house and start swinging until you get on. Or sorry, buddy.
Chris, send me the Discord channel link and I'll plug it in here so these guys can.
Your wife will let me in. She'll think that's hilarious.
So anyway, moving on to more important things. It was really cool.
Come out and play.
It went really well. Everyone loved the ships. They thought they looked great. Oh, and McMurray gave the Reese. Oh, this is great. Reese was the first guy to go down.
Yes. So Reese actually got a special award. He got a 3D printed shark because he was the shark bait. He was the first ship to actively sink.
So you got the shrike, but then everyone got to choose a 3D printed smaller scale. Like, what scale were those?
So I had one of them was 1/600, which was what we played, and that was the Spanish pre-dreadnought Pelayo. That was printed out full size. It's one that's not super easy to find if it's not 3D printed. So I did print that one out full size, and then I had other just various scale versions of, especially the Spanish ships printed. So some at like 1/2400, some at 1/1200, or I'm sorry, 1/1000, because that's a pretty common scale for that period. If you look at old like Houston ships, stuff like that. So there were certainly people really seemed to enjoy that. I had a lot of people take the 1/2400 stuff, which makes sense because that's one of those scales you see a lot for naval miniatures. But yeah, so I had everybody who showed up and played honestly, most people got 2 or 3 ships, especially if they took the 1/2400 stuff. Because I didn't know how many times I was going to put it on. I wound up only putting it on once, which I feel kind of bad about because I know there were people who wanted to play it.
Right.
Yeah, but it didn't really sync up. I didn't see people staying around, so I think it worked out great.
It did. It ate up a good chunk of time when people would have been standing around otherwise. So I was happy about that.
What was the thing I was thinking of? I was quite tired after helping run it.
Doug, I was beat.
I was not ready to run it again. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope we don't run a second one.
Let's reserve some of that for Chris's show.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's okay, so Andrew, so we just watched Andrew just punch 2 games completely, pretty much.
Hold on. Let me do this.
I was hoping he would have punched it and played the first scenario before we're done.
Well, if you guys hang out, you might get to see that.
Okay. So what I want to know is, are you going to go to instantly playing?
I still have my setup on my table where I've got all the Avalon Hill games I want to play sitting up over here. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of cleanup, and then I'm going to probably play this within the next 24 hours.
And that's Civil War, so that means those videos will come up on mine. Let me post this link that Chris just sent me for this.
Correct.
Todd, what do you, in the meantime, Todd, what roads are you fixed to go down on your boards there?
Oh, on my table here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually doing proofing for GCACW right now. So I'm excited to that. I'm doing I'm proofing the basic I'm proofing the basic scenarios for the TPC, the Peninsula campaign.
Oh, so I should play. No, I'm kidding.
So that's taking up a lot of time. I'm still setting up North Africa here. The Crusader, the 2 turns Crusader scenario for North Africa SCS game.
Right.
But the GCACW is kind of precluding that, because I'll tell you what, talk about tired. Use my brain at work, and I'm using that brain to proof, and I'm usually kind of just setting up. And then I noticed there was a little bit of mess up on my board here. Someone put something on the table, moved some of the counters around. I'm like, oh boy. Okay, anyway, I'll just reset that. That's cool.
Todd needs to find himself a new son, is what that sounds like.
Just kidding. He's 21. He can take care of himself. So, what was the other thing? And then I got all kinds of fun little stuff at the thing, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'll do a video on that. And I got a new BattleTech set to paint some more minis on. I just primed those. I got a new RPG.
You bought an RPG?
I played with it. Was so fun blowing Chris's face up that I decided to get my own RPG.
Oh, that's even more fun than what I thought. Okay, never mind. We'll talk about that later.
I probably shouldn't talk about that on air. Anyway, I'm just kidding, Chris.
I got the agents of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. It's important to note that he's just kidding.
So, yes, I got a lot of little stuff actually, Jeff.
You did. You picked up. Yeah. I know we both got a lot of ventures going. So, in where we want to go now, we did. So a couple weeks ago, we did a little show on a Thursday night. We brought Big Board over.
Big Board.
We did a little chit chat about optional rules and variants of games and stuff. Well,
which
I
was
came up with
awesome.
another brainstorm today, and we're going to wait on Andrew and I. Pretty much got dates. I mean, any Thursday is good for me. Andrew's got a couple set up, or we're waiting on Todd to check on his schedule to see which one's going to work. But we're going to do another show here. I'm not going to drop the title. You just have to wait and see when I post it, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. Joey, how you doing, brother? Good to see you here.
Todd and I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I haven't told him yet. Man. I want to wait. You all will like it. You'll appreciate it. It'll be a lot easier, I think, for us to deal with than the optional rules one.
I really enjoyed that. Kev, I had a great time, Kev, if you're watching this at some point.
Yeah, once we sit on a date, I'll send him out an invite, see if he wants to pop in on it too.
Kev's a wonderful man.
Yeah. And
beautiful soul.
But I think this ought to be a good one. We're going to talk. We're just going to talk about games in general. But
I just punched and clipped 2 games, Jeff. How do you like me now?
Function about the games that we're going to talk about. So, but we won't have to do a ton of research on this one. Let me see what I got going
8 counter sheets, Jeff.
8 in that one?
Between the 2 of them. How do you like me now? How do you like them apples?
Damn, you punched 8 counter sheets. So what do I got going on? All right, so that over yonder is Corson Pocket 2. All right, I'm going to play a scenario in that. Jack Rady's already given me a bunch of stuff on YouTube or on Facebook posts about things I should be doing ahead of time.
Why don't you embiggen yourself so we can see it?
What's that?
Why don't you embiggen yourself so we can see it?
Oh, I thought I did. My bad.
My bad.
My bad.
Your bad and my bad.
Oh, I wonder if this will work.
Look at those setup charts. What the heck?
That's just the turn record track.
Oh my gosh.
And that's just one scenario. So I'm one of these that I like to set the game up. The rules are not heavy in this game.
Oh, okay.
I did make a comment earlier about how zone of control in this game is deep in this game, but it's all completely understandable why it's like that. But as far as your movement combat stuff, it doesn't look to me like it's only somewhat maybe 26 pages of rules, and I don't think all 26 are rules. A lot of people have said something about the map and the counters. You know what? I think they're freaking awesome. I love it. So I mean, I had to set it up and put the counters on the map, and it just took me back to the SPI days. So I got to feel I'm going to enjoy this. And so I got that going on. I finished another scenario of Screaming Eagles last night. I saw I didn't post, but I played through it so fast. I was like, oh boy. And it's kind of not fun to shoot a video when one entire side has been wiped off the map and there's nothing else there to look at but the guys that won. And then I've got still playing my Tunisia 2. Not going to take it down. I'm having too much fun with OCS. So I'm still grinding that. That'll stay on this table. And you'll notice now I was able to move one camera and show both gaming tables. That's because I redesigned my room and made myself a little horseshoe here.
You need a whole video about this because it looks awesome
for me to work with. So I won't be playing any 4 mappers for a while. It'll be 2 mappers at the most. And it'll probably be scenarios unless like a game like Barbarossa Derailed, I can play that. See, Reese, I can play that one.
Reese,
on table,
Reese,
so.
Jeff, switch to my camera real quick. Reese.
Well, hold on, I'm trying.
Reese. He wanted to know if I had a USS Alabama or Arkansas this weekend, and I told him I did, but he didn't have it with me. Sorry. It is.
That's a different scale than those ones we use, though, right?
Nope, this is 1/600. This is BM-1. It's a monitor.
Wait, those guns look. That looks big. Okay. Wow.
It's actually smaller. It's not very large.
And Stigler, if you're still here, you will be seeing me in July.
Anyway, sorry, guys. I was going to toss that in at the end, but I didn't know Reese was leaving.
No problem. So there you have it. You've seen a couple of good ACW games that Andrew just picked up on Ding and Dent. They're a very good price, and obviously none of the internal components are damaged. And he'll be getting that. Now, which one are you going to play tonight? You going to play Antietam or are you going to play one of the 7 days?
Man, I don't know. I feel bad because I kind of want to play this so I can send it out to you.
Right.
I'm excited to play this one.
You don't have to hurry. I mean, you do you. See what Todd's got there.
But I might play Antietam and then play 7 days in June. Todd's got BattleTech.
BattleTech.
BattleTech is hex-based.
That classic BattleTech is not this one I'm playing.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's hex and counter. Well, hex and minigame.
Actually, I might do that, Jeff. I might play Antietam now, and then in end of June, I'll play 7 days battles.
So June?
Yeah. That's when it took place. I'll just be 161 years late.
Yeah, Antietam. I'm gonna throw that one up next too. Here, I'm tell you though, these. Like I the only Worthington publishing game, and I'm gonna guess between the 3 of us, was that Sicily.
That Med War garbage.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was just never enticed. And then, like I say, Todd did this Band of Brothers thing, and I probably wouldn't have done it if it had been. I would have had to buy them from Worthington
direct.
But the miniature market deal was just, I got on there. I was going to grab 1 or 2. I was like, oh no, man!
It was pretty screaming good. Yeah. I'm sad that Screaming Eagles still isn't in stock.
And then they had the Civil War ones, and I actually ordered all 3, but they didn't have any 7 days battles in stock, so I didn't get that one
because it was dead and dinged.
And now he's got it, so I'm gonna have to I need to get my hands on that one to add it. But now that McMurray's got it, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
So
I'll send it off to you. It'd be cool to play Antietam together. It's like play.
Yeah, I've got Antietam, so that'll be next, and then I'll send Shiloh out your all's way to give it a run. These are the games that McMurray will play in one night. Yeah, you're right, Mike. It's funny because of all the Richard Berg games that I own, that was the only one that sucked.
What was that?
Of the ones that I owned.
Richard Berg did Med War Sicily?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he did?
Yep, that was his.
He must have been sick.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. That.
So, Jeff, are these, like, I'm going to need to play an intro scenario.
Yeah, you'll find it so easy, Andrew, that it really is easy. Once you look at there's 4 steps to a turn.
Yeah, again, so I was playing, apparently there's a lock and load game that uses that you move, I shoot, you shoot, I move, you shoot, I shoot. Because that was the I played in a Battle for St. Louis game that was miniatures, that was played with miniatures instead of counters, right? So you had the counter stats on there. It was played on a hex map, but then instead of having a picture, it was miniatures. And that was the turn order in that game. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and the only thing they add that is each side gets a recovery phase at the end of their half of the turn. And it's
I didn't get on there. But so I think
start blowing through it. You're not doing well, at least in Shiloh, you're not doing like a butt ton of maneuver. Of course, it's Civil War combat.
Bloody Lane is right here, and that's, as you can see, pretty small. That's 11 and 14 or 16 hexes, or 11 and 16 counters. So maybe I'll play through that tonight or tomorrow, and
you'll blow through that. You'll blow through that. So, I didn't know today, but I was reading some of the history and designer notes in the back of Course on Pocket, and his incentive apparently for that game came from the original SPI Wacht am Rhein, and he started digging to find something on the East Front that would sort of line up scale wise. In the Course on Pocket, he said, "Man, this will be perfect." This is Jack Rady's words in the back of the booklets for the game. So, and SPI Wacht am Rhein is my favorite Battle of the Bulge game ever. And I'm not talking about decision games. The one that takes you 4 years to play 2 turns. It takes Joey like 15 minutes, but
he's a special individual.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool to see that one. And like I said, right now I'm in an OCS. I got OCS on my brain, but this Course on Pocket 2 looks really, really good. Mm-hmm. And then probably I want to play. Well, you know what? I want to play them all. Damn it! But I think I want to put Into the Woods eventually on the table and play the full Shiloh, or at least something bigger than intro stuff.
Didn't you just play a full Shiloh?
No, remember I've been. Oh yeah, I did. You're right, I did.
From this series, like you just put out 3 or 4 videos about it.
For that one, yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about Great Battles of American Civil War. I'm thinking that's what I want to do.
You want a Shiloh Crunch Monster?
Crunch Monster, yeah. I was trying the Shiloh Crunch Monster using RSS with the line of battle. And those of y'all out there that love line of battle, don't get mad at me, but I'm sorry, it doesn't rate compared to GBACW. It's just my opinion, though. So
that's just like your opinion, man.
It is. It's just my opinion. That's all.
Man,
like buttholes, everybody's got one.
And they all stink. Just itches sometimes. Okay. Anyways, unboxings. Antietam, September 17th, 1862, and the 7 Days Battles, June 25th to July 1st, 1862, from Worthington Games. I'm excited. The maps are gorgeous. The counters look good. They're easy to see, easy to understand, super easy to punch, no need to clip. Both big bonuses. They have the same system rules, big bonus, and scenario rules. Don't look too intense. 4 scenarios, 8 scenarios. I'm looking forward to it.
What do you mean, Jerry? What do you mean, Ulan? What do you mean? He's dying. And I told him I was going to play one of the LFM games, and I need to get back to it. I've got the Gettysburg one. I made all my stuff for that, and like I said, I still have both versions of the Maryland campaign and Antietam, and they will get played. They will get played.
I tried keeping us on track. I don't know.
For those of you that have not been on here before, Ulan Games, if you want free Civil War stuff, free Civil War games, you can either make them yourself, print out the maps, make the counters yourself, or you can play them via Vassal. He does all the stuff for free. And he has a site where you can download that stuff. If you just Google Ulan Games, it'll take you right to his site. And I'm gonna tell you, he does not slack on the quality of what he's doing. So take a peek if you get the urge. I recommend it. All right, guys, that was good stuff tonight. Good stuff.
Yep, that was good.
Everybody out there, look out for the post about
10 seconds.
The post for about
March to Victory.
Our upcoming next chat with hopefully we get Kev Big Board on here as soon as Todd gives us an acceptable Thursday that he can do.
I've got
call his people.
I sent a message to you.
Okay, cool. All right. And I'll get that posted and you'll see the topic in it. And these guys they'll grab onto it right away. So there you go, Andrew. Answer Jerry's question there.
Well, hang on. Let me.
You can't.
Oh, McMurray, what battle would you want? That's from Ulan for Civil War.
Dude, I'm a Missouri boy. I gravitate towards Wilson's Creek. It's the main kind of big engagement in Missouri.
P Ridge, but
Arkansas, but still good.
oh,
Wilson's Creek was the bull run of the West, dog. I like Franz Siegel. I fight mit Siegel.
yeah, but who was I think? What's the one that was up north there near Kansas City area? Was there an Independence or no? Never mind.
Nothing major. I mean, there's fights everywhere.
Well, yeah, there's tons of skirmishes.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
But
Liberty's up there. There's a fight at Liberty.
That's it.
The Boonville Races was real early. That's up by Kansas City.
Okay. I was thinking of the Liberty one.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're everywhere, man. There were some decent sized engagements down by like Fredericktown, Ironton, down south of St. Louis. But yeah.
I'll put it on the to-do list. That's what he said.
For stuff that like people other than me would want to play, or other than Missourians and maybe some Kansas guys would want to play, Wilson's Creek is usually the Missouri engagement that works.
Reese
Right?
and Chris say Westport.
Westport will be good. There's some actions down near Cairo, Illinois, on both sides that are cool. Cairo's over as you get over towards Paducah, Kentucky, and whatnot. That's where kind of Illinois tapers down to meet Missouri and Tennessee and Kentucky, as well as Arkansas. But yeah.
All right, I'm going to kill this. Been on just over an hour. Wanted to keep it about an hour. Now I got a few things I need to do. So everybody, thanks for popping in. Good couple of unboxings there, Andrew. Appreciate it, man. Good games. I think you're going to have fun with them. Todd, you get your hands on the Shiloh one or one of those with them. I think you'll enjoy them. It's a easy move, easy play. So, all right, everybody. Thanks. Talk to y'all later.